The star of the week is Zoomed Technologies Limited, or ZOMD, on the TSX Venture. Like Ryan said, a company which we have been monitoring for several years now, and it initially appeared in our 2022 Canadian Cash Rich Small Cap stock report as a monitor. And today the stock trades at about 39 cents with a $38 million market cap. And again, as Ryan said, they are a MarTech, or marketing technology company, which helps advertisers manage performance of user acquisition and engagement. So the stock is up 457% year to date and 156% over the past month. But this follows a horrible 2022 and 2023. And as I mentioned, we have monitored the company for quite some time. And over the past few years, there was an issue as the company was going through several CEO changes, and they ended up revising their fiscal 2022 guidance lower from about 74 to 80 million to 65 to 70 million, eventually achieving 72 million in the year. So they did achieve the high end of their revision lower, but still, that's quite the drop there that we saw. And we also saw growth continue to decline in 2023, where they only produced revenue of 42.5 million, a decline of 41% from 2022. And over this time, we continued to see the company struggle to generate any actual profitability. But anyways, let's take a look at what's driving the recent increase. So the company posted strong Q2 2024 financial results on August 28th, with revenue up 59%. And most importantly, earnings per share was up to 2 cents per share from a loss of 1 cent per share in Q2 of 2023. And according to management, the reason for the increase in profitability was due to the company making some strategic decisions since Q2 of 2023. So a year ago now, including focusing on core user acquisition activities, ceasing operations in certain business lines, and implementing cost reduction measures to improve efficiency. And we will be reaching out to management to see if we can kind of work through the past issues and whether they can continue to maintain growth while preserving this Q2 margin expansion. Now, we did have, or we had a few companies in different industries that recently posted breakthrough quarters, which are far less risky in our opinion. As you know, one of these names had a backlog, or a significant backlog. We could extrapolate growth into the future, and the other is in an industry which is quite less volatile, which gave us more confidence in management teams of these two businesses. So we will see if we can build the same confidence with Zoomed and Zoom's management team. Again, the track record has been a little spotty, but the recent quarter is intriguing at the least.
Yeah, the recent quarter definitely gives us a reason to, again, reach out, interview management team once again, and we'll likely do that in short order. But yeah, I mean, you brought it up. We're always looking at not just this one company, we're looking at 10, 20, 15, 50 other companies. And, there were a couple companies that we brought into coverage over the last 2, 3, 4 months that had kind of broken through into profitability. But like you said, there were some other factors at play that gave us a little more confidence in the near term. One of the companies had a record backlog. They've subsequently had a quarter, again, strong quarter, and increased their backlog. So at least over the next 16 to likely, 24 months, you saw a good book of business for them. At this point, we don't have, a backlog of orders that we're looking at from ZOMD. I'm not even sure how to say it, so I'm just
I
saying the
always say
symbol
Zomd.
here. Zomd. I mean, it. Yeah. So even the point would be we had more confidence there. Also, there is historical volatility in this
Yeah.
company, but also in the sector. Marketing technology companies, it can be just more contract driven. It's typically not like a SaaS business, even though they can have marketing software. It's more, contract driven, can have a really great quarter and then have periods of 2 or 3 that aren't as good. Now we'll see if there's a change in this business going forward, but it has been kind of a worry in the past, and it has been proven out in the financials in the past. It's a new management team, so we'll see.
And I'd
Relatively
really
speaking,
say like core thing when we're looking at these like turnaround as stocks is what was the mistake in the past, what was causing that, and is it corrected, or what was the factor at that time? Was it a market aspect? Was it a company aspect? And if it was a company aspect, has it been corrected? Like Ryan was saying, the one of the companies we were looking at are both, they've corrected those issues. They've isolated that issue, and you're starting to see that come through in the financials. Is that the case in Zomd or Zoomed? That's what we're looking for in the next couple of quarters.
Exactly. And
yeah.
can we recommend them and then gain confidence in them as we go forward? Can they then hit it the next quarter? Can management tell us or issue guidance and come in within that range again or exceed it? Can that continue to mount? And can it be a better buy 2 or 3 quarters down the road, or 2 or 3 years even down the road? But if we have some of those items that check off our box, we can put them into our kind of spec buy discovery area of our portfolio, and they can even graduate into being a focus buy over time. But it's good process to move them as they move them up as they move forward in terms of their results and in terms of their performance.
And again,
All right.
I would just like to,
Yeah.
sorry, before we jump on.
Getting ready always. I'm sorry.
Sorry, just,
No.
again, even these companies that we were teasing, we sat down with management team multiple times, and continued to interview them. And the amount of times that we'd sit across from them and they'd be like, when are you going to recommend us? And again, finally, after several years, we did. But again, we need to see that in the business. And, we might do that with Zomd here. Again,
and sometimes it's several management teams, right?
Exactly.
Like it can be, and there's a flux. And then, one of the companies has brought in a manager or CEO who's running the ship, who really seems to be in a different ballpark from the previous CEO, and really seems to be delivering. Again, 2-3 quarters in, can that continue 2-3 years in? That's where the proof is in the pudding, really. But it looks to be a whole different world under a new management team. That's not always the case, but it does look to be that here. So we'll track Zomd, and we'll see whether that is the case going forward.